Hey, how you guys doing? What's poppin'? Hmm. All right. Hey, Lois, remember the
Kent je
time I ate
eigen
a turd?
1001
It was
to-do's die je nog
so
moet afvinken.
funny.
Maar dat is ook
Family Guy is
The how old is this video? 2 years.
we've
It seems to
seen a lot
be.
of
Oh,
Hotel
Hotel
Mario
Mario.
memes, even though the
Let's
game
go. It's
itself is stale, horrible as it seems. But where are
I
the
I love the
creative,
cutscenes. Oh,
well-made
it's the light.
mash-ups? Which
It
all
kind of
about
reminds me of the "you should kill yourself now"
rely.
kind of guy.
Lucky there's a mash-up guy. He's been making covers, he's a Rosalina lover. There'll be lots of things that'll make
I want to
us
fuck
laugh
Rosalina.
and cry. He's a mash
Listen, if you've seen the art, you know why.
guy. Well, here we go. My second rant on my channel. So, what happened last time? Batman and Robin, an absolute disgrace to the Batman film series. And this time, it's gonna be on a show a lot of people love. A show that was amazing, charming, and funny, but now it is becoming more insufferable. And that
Yeah.
is Family Guy. Okay, before you grab your torches and pitchforks and think I'm the most hateful person on the planet, or the entire galaxy, but please just hear me out. Family Guy is now becoming a lot more sadistic and just doesn't know when to quit as the show goes on. And I know some of you thinking, dogseatingdogs6's, why did you use the Family Guy theme song for your new intro? Because Family Guy nowadays is only good for nostalgia by looking at past episodes and using clips during videos. When the show first came out, during the first 4 seasons, it was endearing, charming, and funny, and the characters were relatable, as well as some really amazing moments,
Peanut butter
especially in
jelly
season
time,
4,
peanut butter jelly time,
aka my
peanut
favorite
butter
season of the
jelly
show.
time,
But
peanut butter jelly
nowadays, we
time.
get
Yeah,
endless
yeah,
torture,
yeah.
cutaway gags used way too often instead of, storytelling, and many pitiful attempts
Yeah, I
at
think that's
making
going.
jokes solely
Oh
for
no,
cheap laughs, and they
no.
fail at it. This is one of those
This
shows
is when
that
he
tries to
tried Red
step on
Bull
the world
once.
because it's so edgy and cool. But I've got news for you, it's not! So,
Ooh,
let's get to
violence.
it! Why Modern Family Guy is a cartoon disgrace. Do I really need to say what's gone horribly wrong, especially the fact that the characters have been flanderized nowadays? Peter's an
Yeah,
uncaring sociopath.
I hate
Lois
kids
is a
too.
drug addict whore.
Especially
Chris is
those
just
annoying
Seth Green doing
skibidi
whatever the
Ohio
episode
kids
calls
on
for.
my bus.
Meg gets universally hated for no reason. Stewie is a sadistic homosexual deviant. Brian is a liberal douche.
Okay,
Quagmire
he's
is a
based. He's
sex-crazed
absolutely
maniac.
based.
And a
There's
bigger
he
douche
shouldn't
than
go to
Brian.
jail at all.
Cleveland is
This is
Black Peter.
wonderful.
And Joe
This guy's
is used for
amazing.
cripple jokes and making fun of the mentally disabled. Before I unleash my true rage, do you know the few episodes which I find remotely amazing, at least in the modern era, Road to the Multiverse, and then there were fewer, Mr. and Mrs. Stewie, Brian's Play, Meg Stinks, The Simpsons Guy, Peter Normal Activity, a lot going on upstairs, Big Trouble in Little Quahog, and also Back to the Pilot. But everywhere else, you just wonder why I still watch Family Guy. Especially when I hear recurring quotes like that time when, or remember back in, when they set up a cutaway gag every time. Okay, now it's time to really get started to yell and rage at a truly once great show has now become one of the worst shows ever, if not the worst. The first 4 seasons were spectacular, especially season 4. Seasons 5 and 6 weren't that good, but still had some good episodes like Stewie Loves Lois, Meet the Quagmires, and the Stewie Kills Lois / Lois Kills Stewie 2-parter, aka what should have been the last episode of season 6. But starting from season 7, it's becoming a lot more mean than before, and we'll get to why. You people better beware! Because I'm about to say some super harsh things about Family Guy nowadays. Time to tackle the 10 biggest problems with the show. Stewie and Meg have not changed whatsoever. Besides, these two are my favorite characters in the whole show. I love Stewie, as he still had some amazing moments, including the Road 2 series, and as for Meg, who is played by Mila Kunis, she's the punching bag of the show, which unfortunately I'll cover later on. I mean, what do you expect? Calling her ugly is just so mean. She's cute, loving, and needs a kiss or a hug. And as for the others, 2 of them I'll cover on them more, as they're the worst offenders of character flanderization. Lois was a beautiful and sweet mother who played piano music beautifully and cared for her family.
Hey, Peter, that's a
Nowadays,
guitar.
she's the most intolerable and annoying female lead in any cartoon. A sex addict and a bitch to her kids, and has a god-awful laugh and high-pitched voice. In one episode of season 7, she gives Meg pills and a suicide book to help kill herself. Don't believe me? Here, listen.
Okay, look, Meg, I've been at this for 45 minutes.
Well, he's been getting too much attention these days for no reason. And he acts just as bad as Peter. And I have a very big hatred for Quagmire. Back in the older seasons, Quagmire is one of my top 3 favorite characters in the show. He's a likable pervert and says quotes like, heh heh, alright. And how can we not forget his infamous,
oh, giggity 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 goo. Who else but Quagmire?
He's Quagmire, Quagmire. You never really know what's gonna do next. He's Quagmire, Quagmire.
Giggity 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 giggity.
Look at
yep,
Quagmire.
you guessed it, giggity. But now, he's a sex-crazed maniac who lusts for women and dates them for their bodies and their personalities, and has a huge hatred for Brian. This is official! Quagmire is Brian's nemesis. And Cleveland, as I previously stated, is Black Peter. There's other characters I don't like that much, like Consuela, who got overused way too much. The only side character I like is Bruce, but everyone else, forget it! Oh, and Joe's becoming a lot more worthless.
Shut the fuck up!
Level up your gaming space with metal posters from Displays. Hang
Here's when things start to get really lazy. Using live action footage for no reason whatsoever is one of them. Some examples include Conway Twitty and that music video of Dancing in the Street. Even though I liked the song, but the music video was unneeded.
That happened, and we all let it happen.
It's ridiculous how Family Guy can just slap a realistic poster on a lunchbox that Peter got for Christmas. Or how about a full-size cardboard cutout of a real-life female? For fuck's sake, draw the fucking characters! Stock footage or live-action footage does not match with Family Guy. If this was South Park or SpongeBob, I could easily understand since it works much better in those shows. Like modern SpongeBob, Family Guy writers just don't bother writing something original. Most plots have a subplot about some stupid relationship. Mainly Brian. That just ends in a breakup at the end. Who the fuck cares? There's an episode where Brian dates an older woman, an atheist, a rich lady. The list goes on way too long. Then there's Stewie and Brian doing some stupid time travel bullshit and something fishy goes on. A lot of times too, Peter is doing something incredibly stupid at the beginning goes on. A lot of times too, way leading to the other plot. Could this not be around to 2009, I think. The Simpsons had wonderful plots all the way up to even past season 11. And then they still get it right sometimes. Bad episodes in that show, for some reason, to me, are isolated incidents. Another thing, and I consider this an extension to this complaint, is ratings traps. Example? The episode Long John Peter from season 6. It promised a fun adventure of Peter as a pirate. What's that? The episode features Peter as a pirate and his crew? What's that? The trailer shows only pirate action? What's that? The whole thing was only 4 minutes? Well, we got you there, bitch! For fuck's sake! Why? That's just pathetic in my book. The Simpsons guy had a really good concept, but instead of focusing on all of the Simpsons and Griffins, they just focus on Homer and Peter. The worst example, though, is Life of Brian and Christmas Guy from season 12.
Look out!
Season 12 promised a character would be killed off. Life of Brian, Brian is killed. Christmas Guy, they bring him back. Regardless of petitions or whatever, it was a setup the whole time. The point is, if you're going to have a plot about something cool, I expect it to last the entire episode. If not, then just quit, please. The definition of filler is shoving some unimportant shit into the episode and jacking up the runtime because of likely plain laziness. Family Guy is very notorious for this. Namely, the pacing. Old Family Guy's pacing wasn't too quick and wasn't too slow. Take a look at this scene when Peter makes dad noises. This really isn't that funny because of how slow and boring and long it can get. It all started with a god-awful joke where Stewie calls for Lois for 30 seconds straight, and then it grew to bad jokes like Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. You're saying it weird. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
And the notorious smashing the bench with a crane because we can't write good jokes sequences. It's either that or long sequences of dialogue that just go on and on and on. Also, Mr. Booze, which was too long. That's another thing. Some of the songs are just too damn long nowadays. We fucking get it, Seth. You can sing. Congratulations. Nobody gives a fuck. The more infamous ones are the recent chicken fight sequences in No Chris Left Behind and in The Simpsons Guy, which is just Homer and Peter beating each other up for 7 whole minutes with boring jokes. There is no need for shit like this. Another problem is the amount of reused awful jokes. Remember that knee joke from the episode Wasted Talent? Yeah, that was funny for the first time, but the writers just need to shove that into the season 7 episode Foxy Lady. What's the difference? Lois trips on her chest and grabs her boob. Lame! Then there's these 5-second jingles they overuse. You know, like
Family Guy, we've been on for years. Italians, oranges.
or
Japan, they kill things that we like.
with words on the screen? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about! Stop doing that! The writers are either too lazy or not even talented enough to create a coherent plot to fill in the time gap of 30 minutes. By this, I mean that the majority show is covered with those